This is the Infinite Receiving Podcast, helping conscious leaders like you tap into a wealth of abundance across all areas of your life and business. My name is Susie Ashworth. I am a single mom of 3 and author of the Sunday Times best-selling book, Infinite Receiving: Crack the Code to Conscious Wealth Creation and Finally Manifest Your Dream Life. On this show, I'll be sharing with you how you can upgrade your identity and your reality to create the life that you have been dreaming of. Because you are ready to be an infinite receiver. Hello, you gorgeous human being. It is Susie Ashworth here, and you are listening to the Infinite Receiving Podcast. And I have got a juicy one for you today. I have not got a guest. For those of you who are old school and are like, juicy one means guest. No, I have got something that is just so freaking simple. It's so simple. And yet it is so important. And it is the number one thing that is missing from every business that is trying to hit that 7-figure mark and is not quite nailing it. It is the number one thing that is also missing from every single business that is trying to hit the 6-figure mark and is not quite hitting it. Can you believe that it is the same one thing, whether you're trying to hit 6 figures or 7 figures, that you need to nail? If you are saying, no, I don't believe it, Susie, I do not believe it. What are you talking about? I want to say, stop. I want to say, look and listen. Stop and definitely listen, because you're talking to somebody who has done 6 figures, multiple 6 figures, 7 figures, and multiple 7 figures. And this is the number one thing. And it is the reason, by the way, that when people come into our coaching certification, that we get them charging their practice clients really early on, even as a brand new coach. Even somebody who is yet to be fully qualified is why we get them charging. And for those people who are already coaching and already have coaching businesses, but are not quite getting the results that they know that they need to get in order to feel confident and comfortable charging high ticket for their clients, it's the reason that not only do we get them working on their skill set, but the first thing that we go through with them is their offer. Have you guessed what I am about to say? Like, the number one thing that you have to focus on, whether you are trying to hit your first 6 figures or your first 7 figures, is sales. It's selling. It's selling your mother trucking offer. That is your number one focus. And if you are not hitting it right now, it is because you are not making enough sales of your flagship offer. And so when I am talking to the brand new coach, one of the most challenging things is for them to be willing to say, even though I've only been doing this for a couple of months, I'm going to charge 20 quid for this coaching call. And what happens with most certifications is if you are lucky enough to be within an organization that has not just some piecemeal business coaching, but like proper business coaching, is that you get to the end of your certification, and then there are a couple of modules where kind of people give you an overview of business. Very few, if any of them, will talk to you about actually selling your services. You might get a broad overview of what it means to market, perhaps a little bit on messaging, but nobody will talk to you about selling. And one of the biggest hurdles, mental hurdles people have to get over is feeling like they know enough and they're worthy enough and they are deserving enough to charge. And so my thinking behind this is we need to get people over that first hurdle as quickly as possible. Not charging thousands when people aren't even qualified, but getting those first few tens and then hundreds of pounds for your time and your energy. The reason that this is just so revolutionary when it comes to you actually being able to hit six figures in your first year of business is because what a lot of people do is they get to the end of their qualification, and because they haven't really learned that much about sales, haven't learned that much about marketing, they're like, I just want to go really broad. I'm a life coach. I'm a business coach. I'm a whatever. And it's really, really broad. And so that means that the messaging is really broad. And when you try to talk to many people with this brushstroke approach, you speak to nobody. So when you start off charging for your services very early on and you've only learned a couple of tools and you've learned it in a very specific context, guess what you do? You sell the specific context that you want to work with somebody on. You start to get really adept at being very specific about what it is that you can do, what your promise is. I'm going to give you one clear action point to work on in relation to this type of problem. Whoa! You are already head and shoulders above 99% of all other coaches who are either too scared and wildly undercharging, even though they've just studied for a year. You know, for us, you have to do 50 hours of client work in order to qualify. So it's really, really reasonable when you are doing the work after you've done 50 client hours to be charging thousands for your packages. Putting together a package where you are charging thousands versus hundreds. And without exception, in my experience of working with new coaches, the people who are willing to create £5,000 packages, without exception, are the people that cross six figures in the first year. But most people do not feel confident and comfortable enough to do that. They don't understand what is required in order to put together a £5,000 package, which is, again, what we show people in the high ticket offer incubator that sits within our certification. So people who are established coaches already, but just not hitting the numbers, that's where they will start alongside their coaching skills. And people who are new, we will teach you how to start talking about what it is that you do and putting your messaging together so that when you start working with your practice clients, you are ready to even be charging them small amounts and getting that energy exchange happening. In order to create a 6 or 7 figure business, it is really, really simple. You just have to sell. I was going to say sell some shit, but not just sell shit, sell good shit. You have to be able to help people get transformation. Absolutely. You have to be able to help people get great results. This is a prerequisite. There is no point in being the best anything in the world if you are afraid to sell. You have to be willing to sell and understand that when I am selling and I am thinking about my one perfect dream boat client who I know when I get that one perfect dream boat client, neither of us can fail. It is only going to be a match made in heaven. So we're training people right from the get-go in order to get into that mentality so that whether they are looking to hit six figures in their first year or seven figures by the time they reach us, that they are equipped to be able to do that. If you currently are stalling, it is because you are not selling enough. And I want you to commit to changing that. And it starts by very, very simply committing to making invitations every single day. And if right now you are somebody who is saying, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to, I just don't know how. Then check out the link that I have included beneath this episode. It takes you to my 5-module program, How to Attract More Clients Intensive. It is super cheap. It's like £27. And it just guides you through the step by step that you need to be doing in order to start identifying who are my people and having your people identifying you as somebody who can help them. And that's the first stage. And then the next piece will obviously be the actual sales practice. First off, I want you to really think about who am I talking to and how do I do this on a daily basis? That program will help you. Okay, my loves, let's make more sales. I love you. You're amazing. If this has been a useful kick up the butt, please share this with somebody that you know and love. And in the meantime, please remember that faith plus action equals miracles.
Thank you for listening to Infinite Receiving with me, Susie Ashworth. I'd love to share with you my Infinite Receiving activation audio. Go to susieashworth.com/activate infinite receiving.